100 to 0. So, look, if that trend continues, this is a quick 4-0. But how many times have we said that? You know, Numbani suddenly goes absolutely one way and we go, there should be a quick series. Then suddenly we find ourselves staring down the barrel of a game 5, having had, you know, really close series going, how did we get here?
And I'll tell you what, a lot of that happens after the break when teams get to go away for a few minutes between maps 2 and 3, come back to map 3, and then suddenly the gears have shifted. The other team comes in big. We've already seen that this evening. Mega did exactly that earlier on. So Chaos Theory and Bazaar definitely have the ability to come back in. And also, we talked about Bazaar needing to win this if they want to take a shot at the top 4. But also, you need to prove that you can win this. You need to prove you belong in the top 4. And to do that, you got to beat Chaos Theory.
Unfortunately so, and also unfortunately, not off to a great start. I think even a win here, I mean, the map score puts them in a pretty rough position at any rate. It's going to be quad tank out the gate here for Bazaar. Spam damage from Chaos Theory will be hurtful. There's not a lot of great squishy targets for GNX to catch, though. He's really looking for Zombie or Panties.
So the issue with the trap being where it was is even with somebody being caught there, you can't land enough damage for that to really count, which is why you usually see the trap where Bazaar is right now. So Chaos Theory gonna unfortunately have to kind of let Bazaar move on through, continue the rotation, and themselves now have to counter-rotate.
And that's not ideal because they do want, between that spam damage and the headshot threat from GNX, to kill someone, catch someone in rotation. Instead, they're just gonna have to fight on the point, and the longer Bazaar spend getting set up, the better it goes for them. There's already that 1/3 coming through. Chaos Theory, they have to start really mounting the pressure on.
And he's the on Coalescence.
Yeah, nearly there. They need to drop him, but no, he will be able to get it off before that's going to happen. Zest has already lost the mech. This Riptide's got to do it. It gets 2 back. The Coalescence is still good. They need to find a way to get on here, though. Rezzing Disc Train is decent, but they lose ambition to Nutsuru-sama, who should still be able to kind of anchor the team on the point here. He's got plenty of health, plenty of shield, and I imagine plenty of charge, but maybe 2/3 is all they're going to get for now.
And 2/3 will still be a very good attempt.
Ooh,
nice headshot from GNX into Sadistic as well. Has to back up from that previous positioning because Bazaar teammates are now going to start flooding through from their own spawn. Speaking of flooding through, this is not over by any measure.
Yeah, Boombarappa rejoined the phrase. They decided to commit that one. Unfortunately, though, the moment he went in for that, he was a bit too exposed. Didn't count on ambition. Also having rejoined the fight, and the spam damage just dropping all those tanks. Bazaar going to go ahead and change up the comp.
The other thing to sort of talk about here is when you saw Ambition's damage earlier on during the rotation from Bazaar, that original rotation to even get onto the point, Ambition started the fight with only 30% ult charge. A lot of Junkrats, by the time the attackers have actually rotated to point, actually already have a Riptide, so Ambition had to make up for so much time.
Oh, I was about to say, Bazaar have made the change to part of the lineup. They've got the Tracer Genji, that this is not how they want to run the comp, with the Reinhardt being in there. But they don't want to change off it because they charged up that Earth Shatter.
Dangerous.
Yeah, and you saw them going down in rotation there. There's so many more squishy members. It's so much easier to get past that Reinhardt shield as well with the angles on this map and the Junkrat spam damage. Bazaar might not be able to use that Earth Shatter. They may just need to change off and give it up.
Well, right now they've got to decide what they want to do, and they're going to try and rotate around this right side section. The safest way to get a dive in with Reinhardt, as I say, that finds himself a kill into Peach. So right now, I don't think you have time to back out. I think you are committed. I think you got it, Earth Shatter.
You've just got to go for it. And unfortunately, the longer they wait, the closer Ambition gets to a Riptide. That's just going to stop up another rotation here. Here it comes now in for Bazaar going in the top side. Luckily, it's Pichu who died. He'll be able to get back into the fight. But again, how are they going to get on this point? Boombarappa is already dead. The Earth Shatter went straight into an Aurus shield. He's got to change off now. And the fight's already gone south for Bazaar, having lost so much time.
So much time and now so many resources. Look at the ultimates online for Chaos Theory. There was actually an Earth Shatter opportunity that you saw out of Boombarappa earlier on when they were climbing the stairs onto the 2nd level. Ambition was there. I would have solo ulted Ambition just then to get him down because Ambition holds so much damage. You kill a Junkrat for nothing, or in this case for 1 Earth Shatter, I think that's worth it.
Especially when that Earth Shatter has been something you've, decided you need to get some mileage out of before you change. And now having changed less than 30 seconds, have to pull Nutsuru-sama back to heal him up. There is no chance of them getting ultimates up. Yeah, straight into a Riptide. Dunzo. Bazaar, I don't think they're going to have this.
Well, They're running out of time very quickly now. I don't even know if there's any members onto this point. Less than 10 seconds remaining. At least Chaos Theory, or at least Bazaar rather, have some ults available.
Maybe Sadistic could go ahead and dive right on. Instead, we're going to get a replay of Bumbarapa whiffing his Earth Shatter. Not sure what's happening on the point. Someone did at least step a foot on it, but already not going the way of Bazaar, despite the sound barrier, despite what tools they did have. They do get a couple back, but Ambition's still in it. Natsuru-sama, this has got to be the money Dragon Blade, but Ambition has other thoughts about it, and it is going to be the shutout once again. Not going to get that full cap through. 79.9% is all that they are going to have. And the stage is now set for Chaos Theory to cap out close out their first series win of Contenders Season 1.
And 79%, by the way, is still a really good effort from Bazaar, but that's where part of the issue lies. They should have been able to finish the cap then and there. They had such a good advantage, one being the fact that Coalescence was the first ultimate. Panics had that. They needed to be able to get a lot more out of it. Secondly, the Riptire from Ambition was reasonably late by defensive standards. Again, usually the Junkrat already has a Riptire by the time the attacking team has rotated. This time it was slightly late. That wasn't even enough for Bazaar to get that win. They just barely missed out on fully capping, and this is the result. And now finally, like you sort of said, Chaos Theory looking like they're going to get their first match win. And while Bazaar have had map wins, they themselves have not actually won a match.
Be a pretty rough way for it to go for them. I mean, that whole attack, you can almost spot the moment where it fell apart when sort of Sama, with the grab, chose to go in with it rather than backing out, and that was when the team just got outflanked by the respawning Junkrat. And then they were just playing this you know, half-baked compositional catch-up, didn't make a full switch, found themselves finally going in for their only genuine push with 30 seconds to go. Massive ultimate disadvantage. To their credit, they managed to get back on the point, and even then nearly had a good showing at it right at the end, but still, they just did themselves no favors after that initial push did get repelled.
Yeah, and they had ultimates too. Like, they had the ultimates in those original couple pushes, which is how they got the 79% in the first place. But it's about time, and you sort of said this half-baked composition, right? It's about that sort of time when I think you got to bite the bullet and say, this Earth Shatter is a total waste. You just got to swap off, put the Winston into play, and actually play the real composition with or without Earth Shatter, because, like you said, it whiffed anyway.
And they did with, like, the other two tanks, the Orisa and the Roadhog, that were both at about 80%, but not with that Earth Shatter, just costing Bazaar. Not going to make that same mistake twice, but Chaos Theory going to be coming out with their own, not quite quad tank, but triple tank. They're keeping GNX on that Tracer. He has done so much work for them so far.
No one getting caught in any traps or anything like that, and Natsuru-sama not having too much spam damage so far. He's got some distance to catch up on now, though. He's got to make sure he gets that Riptire in time.
He's up to about 50%, though, really charging it up quick now. By the time I'd said 50, he was at 70, but he's low. Ooh, GNX didn't quite find him on the follow-up. He's looking for Sadistic instead, and they're still getting kills. It's got to turn it around. The Riptire's got to be huge. It's not. It's only got this train's mech. It's not going to be enough. He does catch GNX, but Chaos Theory are set on this point. Bazaar are the ones trying to fight back on a Bumbarapa. Looks like he's going to go down here, but Zest, he's kind of the only man left here. Yeah, 2 ticks have gone over, but they should be able to get back on. Yeah, Natsuru-sama was still alive. Sadistic never quite died, was able to remech. They have pushed Chaos Theory back for now, but look at how little progress Chaos Theory have left before they close it out.
Yeah, how dangerous was that for Bazaar, right? They very nearly couldn't quite get there. At the same time, though, this is already a very clear and distinct reflection from what we just saw from the opposite attacking defense. Chaos Theory, despite being this close, are actually kind of behind still. They need some big ultimates. They need to make these impactful. And for Bazaar, another big Riptire could find its mark, and they could just end the push.
And if they can keep kind of cycling through these tires, they should be just about fine. GNX nearly went down there. Just trying to find where the Riptire's coming from. Ooh, they've stayed alive. If they can top up these members, they have a window. They can get into this fight. And the charge on Ambition is big. If they can land something, anything. Coalescence is in, looking for an angle on the Earth Shatter. There it is. Ooh, nice pop out there from Bumbarapa, but he's still going to go down anyway. They've got the charge in as well. Sadistic demeched, no tank presence. They should be able to dive Natsuru-sama now. He's going to go down to GNX on the backside, and there's only so little percent left. That's it. Chaos Theory going from their first map win of Contenders to closing out their first series win within the same match. Now they're looking at a 4-0.
And barely making mistakes as well, barely letting the other team, Bazaar, get any sort of footing here. I mean, this has been 3 almost blowouts. Just Nepal aside, Nepal with the 99-99 is the only reason this has not been a blowout series so far. The other maps, Nabani and Horizon, has been all Chaos Theory.
And we said often, Numbani can be the point where it just starts to landslide for one team, but in equal measure, that break after the second map is often a time where actually the team that's kind of down in the series is able to address what's going wrong. But today for Bazaar, that is not going to be the case. We're going to get the former of those two situations. That doesn't mean to say it is all over for them. We do still go to Escort. There is still one map left between these two teams. Yeah, but they can't win it now. And I think that means Bazaar too are going to be eliminated.
That is absolutely correct. Unfortunately for Bazaar, they are going to remain in 5th place. And Talon, I mean, Talon right now are Chaos Theory's biggest fans because Talon get to remain in that 4th place spot. And the other thing is for Bazaar, even if they had won this, well, first of all, they would need to have won this and then have some sort of a decent showing versus Detonator Korea next week. But right now, let's take a look at the current scoreboard. 3-0 for Chaos Theory. Next map coming up is Junkertown. The best that Bazaar can hope for is a 1-map win here to at least put them forward. And I say Bazaar are going to get 5th place, but actually Chaos Theory winning this would actually give them a better map score against Bazaar. So Bazaar currently only have, I believe, 2 maps. Chaos Theory are already on 3. Bazaar actually have to win this to at least tie up the map score.
Yeah, they both had the 3 wins. And I mean, that's to say nothing of their final match this week as well. So there's even a chance that Chaos Theory don't walk away the last place team in this group, having unfortunately occupied that spot for quite a long time now. They have had a really hard run, and it's so great to see this team kind of learning from their defeats, rallying and coming back looking in this form now. I mean, this isn't just a close match between the 5th and 6th place teams. This is actually a really powerful, commanding performance against Chaos Theory. The sort that would even give teams like Talon a run for their money.
Which is funny because we did see Chaos Theory versus Talon in the opening match of Contenders, but that was 4-0 for Chaos Theory, and I think it's
for
been...
Talon.
Sorry, for Talon, yeah. And it's been the progression for Chaos Theory that's been so staggering here. The fact that we've gone 3 weeks where they did not win a single map to now coming in 3-0, potentially looking for a 4-0. I mean, it's been a 180 turnaround.
Yeah, and what a long way they've come, like we say. They may be making their way into trials from here, looking to fight their way back into Season 2 of Contenders, but with performances like these, you've got to at least feel like you are very much a team that can make it through trials, make it back in, and then who knows where you can go when you make it back into Season 2. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things might still happen right now. Bazaar could still pick this one up.
Bazaar things
up. It'll be one of their last few challenges to make Bazaar things happen, and it's going to be pirate ship coming up from Bazaar, HMS Panties this time.
Digging it.
No one's a pirate now. They're all HMS. They're all just
they're all Royal Navy. Well, I mean, maybe they took over a Royal Navy ship. That would make an amount of sense because that's what piracy is all about. Often they were you know, Royal Navy men who defected.
But then you wouldn't call it HMS. You'd call it the...
You change the name. Yeah. Jolly Roger or...
Yeah. Something.
They're not actually set up on it though, now just starting to get onto it. Panties took a little bit of hurt in there, but they were able to force Chaos Theory back after they got Sadistic respawned. They need to get the shield up in front of, that is a great hook, and they get Ambition.
Oh Panties, please!
Just blast them apart, the Gatling gun on the prow of the ship, all that cannon fire.
That's the broadside right there.
Yeah. Absolutely slam dunks, and now just drilling away at the remainder of Chaos Theory, keeping them forced back as best as they can. It's really the only angle that Chaos Theory have that they can sit on safely.
Speaking of cannons.
Kills, speaking of cannons, the configuration tank coming up so quickly here for Panties. Combining with that, the whole hog from Sadistic, they have no trouble closing through the rest of the Chaos Theory defense.
3 A-holds in a row? I don't think so, says Bazaar, as they're about to push on through. You can't even get away. If you're just trained, you're going to be staggered. Perhaps if the Matrix does run out, but what that does mean is Chaos Theory cannot come back in to hold A. This has been a very quick sail through for Bazaar.
And that means that Panties is able to stay on the Bastion. This is actually the first time today we've seen the Bastion able to remain on B. They kind of have that momentum on their side. As I say that, they lose Bumbarapa. It's not quite smooth sailing in fair seas. Now with Panties going down, could be in the doldrums, but yeah, trade back. They are going to keep Panties alive, get him back up on this payload in a moment.
And it does feel like there's a lot of guns on this ship because you've got Panties as a bash, you've got a Hog, and Orisa, Junkrat. Just the damage coming on through. One healer as well. In fact, if GNS can snipe out Zobi, this push from Bazaar can end very quickly. But
it's a full mana war, isn't it?
It pretty much is.
The ship of the line. There it is. Catching the tire means they aren't going to have an easy time dislodging Panties. If you can just start getting that damage back out.
It's another tire too.
Yeah.
And Tsunosa's looking for the angle here, and on some level he could have even used it behind where he was, just a little bit further up, and right now he can't because Infrasight will spot him out.
Yeah.
For all of Bazaar's good momentum earlier, they've been kind of stopped up right now, they're just waiting.
Like I said, in the doldrums, but now the trade wind's looking to blow again. Trying to find that entryway. They've got so many ultimates to do it with, but they need to actually pick one and commit. Otherwise, Chaos Theory are eventually going to get to start to charge up all their own ones, have those defensive tools. There's Mitsuru-sama's tire. They've also thrown down the supercharger, so they're looking to commit for this one. Does catch Jokebot, and while they're doing that, they get back underway. It took quite a bit of time, but finally the sails are unfurled, the anchor is away, and Bazaar back on the boat.
Yeah, I mean, they were in rough waters for a while, but now it's smooth sailing on just to continue this beat push through, get right to the end here. You're still not really seeing Chaos Theory commit some of these later ultimates, which they're now changing off. Zest actually had the supercharger on the Orisa, now swaps onto a Bastion, so moving onto the C defense, they know they can't use some of these in for Bazaar. I mean, Panties is still onto the Bastion, we're already onto the C point. You don't have to swap off the Bastion until you actually lose the Bastion.
Master and Commander. That's my nautical contribution for this segment. Panties is going to be coming back into that configuration.
I'm still thinking of mine.
Good, good, yeah, okay. Panties has got that configuration tank once again, so as long as they can keep him alive, they can res him back into this fight, which I imagine they will. Nice hook coming in as well into Distrain's mech to pop him out of that one. They're keeping Mitsuru-sama up. Now that the seas are kind of calmed, they do get a chance to res Panties there.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, man. Oh, that's the killing joke right there.
Finds the treasure at the X marker on the treasure map there.
Yeah, all right. Sure. We're stretching for these, yeah.
There.
So.
I've got to find better jokes in the 7 seas.
Yeah, oh, wow. Double kill out of the Rip tire indeed. And, Bumbarapa does finally go down to that one, but here's that configuration tank that has long since been promised. Mitsuru-sama did go down. This may be a bit of an expensive one, but they should still be able to get the mileage. They can res Mitsuru-sama, but Marapa's going to rejoin now on the Winston. They've actually still got this Bastion now running pretty smoothly through into point C, which is the most appropriate one for the pirate ship.
It certainly is, and the black flag keeps sailing as well. I mean, just kind of flapping there into the wind. Chaos Theory for, I guess you'd have to be the Royal Navy to take down the pirates right now.
I hope they can take this all the way through to the end. I really do. Oh, pulse bomb onto Panties.
That's his first.
Yeah,
one.
Maybe not. Right as I said it, I really shouldn't have said a thing.
Captain down.
Yeah, now Jokebeck getting one through. Well, he certainly went down with the ship, and that's going to be Bumbarapa picked off as well. That is the stabilization of the defense that Chaos Theory have so sorely needed. Turns out you can't do what you want when you're a pirate. Not all the time.
Not all the time, but we have also seen some pirate ships go right to the end. This time it's not going to be the case, and usually they don't. So usually you're not meant to be able to use a Bastion all the way through all the junker towns. Something has to go very right for you and wrong for your opponent for that to happen. And right now, looking for a lot of right things to happen. But Mitsuru-sama maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they're all clustered up. He could get a big one, but he also could only get Distrain's mech and unfortunately die straight after 2 Ambition. This looks like it'll finally be where Chaos Theory, draw the line and make their stand, make their Waterloo. See what I did there?
See, there's no pirate ship anymore, son.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't work. Well, I mean, that's the Waterloo is just 2 Royal Navies.
That's true.
Straight,
We've got to get into land battle. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm done. That's all I got.
I'm sunk.
Well, when we see Blitz, we kind of have that. We've got those Blitzkrieg jokes that can come out. But at any rate, Ambition, very aggressive. Dragonblade doesn't get much for it, but the rest of this team is able to get work done. So again, Bazaar just getting stopped up. That's another death on Tsudu-sama, who's just changed onto the Sombra. Long time it's going to take him to charge up the EMP.
Well, the issue is because Bazaar have to change compositions from the pirate ship onto this now dive, they are suffering from compositional catch-up where they are not expected to win a couple of different, maybe about 1 or 2 fights after they change compositions. They need to get ultimates back again to actually do that.
The pirate ship sank, now they have to dive.
I see.
Yeah, well, look, there is still a chance for Bazaar to make it all the way down to Davy Jones' locker. They've got to get round this last bend on C. Ambition already cleaning up the kills. Doesn't even need a Dragon Blade to make it work. Goes down to Bumbarapa, but maybe Bumbarapa's going to wish he'd held on to that Primal Rage somewhere later down the line. And again, the self-destruct out of Sadistic, you kind of got to say the same here. Bazaar are just kind of using up the few tools that they have.
And now for Bazaar, that they're finally able to nearly get this EMP, and we were sort of in this position on other maps. We were here when we were looking at Nambani, we were here when we were looking at Nepal, and both of those times the EMP was not enough, so now the final map, it kind of has to be enough.
Just trying to push their way through, getting aggressive as they can. It's kind of the last hurrah for Bazaar here. This train throws out the self-destruct. You know, I don't think he got a chance to use it. Dragon Blade, though, from Ambition. This has got to be the one where they pull it out. EMP from Tsudu-sama. No follow-up, though. Chaos Theory. This is finally starting to fall apart for them. Bazaar, at last getting underway. It took them all that time to charge up the EMP, but Chaos Theory do actually get to kind of stabilize up a little bit. Respawn, come back in for another defense. There is still the opportunity for them here, but they don't really have any ultimates to go off. Bazaar, they don't have much in their own right, but they've at least got something, unless GNX just gets a massive pulse bomb. Ooh, nearly connecting it, nearly threading the needle. Yeah, the sound barrier from Zobi. This is the tool they have. This is what they... Whoa!
Whoa. Yep. At the end of the day, Bazaar made some pretty decent progress for all of the stop-ups that they had on DC. And by the way, this is also in comparison to the other maps. The last 3 maps have been pretty major one-sided affairs, all things considered, for Chaos Theory. This time around, though, the fact that Bazaar made it that far deep into the deep water, Chaos Theory actually, they only just barely managed to stop. They could look at that distance.
I mean,
nearly made it to the end.
I mean, yeah, but man, what happened at the end there? I mean, I'm amazed at how quickly you just jumped onto that, because I mean, I was just gobsmacked. They had all their members up. They had, I mean, maybe one person had died. They had the sound barrier. They were getting into position. No one was on the cart. Can you believe that? You can't just abandon ship before it's sunk.
It's like one of those things where you're in the water, you're like, oh, that ship's actually fine.
Yeah,
but you're all kind of in the water.
It's like that episode of King of the Hill where they all go swimming off a boat, but they forget to put down the ladder and they can't get back on.
And the boat sails away because you can't catch up to it. It's still going.
You clearly haven't watched the episode.
I haven't.
It unfolds very differently to that, I'll have you know.
But I'm saying that's what...
Yeah, like that's what happened here. It's not what happened on King of the Hill.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Just word for it.
Yeah.
Look, I can't confirm it, so I just have
I could just say whatever I like about King of the Hill. You wouldn't know. You'd have no clue. I could just lie through my teeth. It's like that Fort Minor song, you know, it goes 10% luck, 20% skill, 15%. My favorite show is King of the Hill. I mean, okay, yeah, so
look at it right now.
Here's what happened at the end there. Maybe, I mean, look at this. They all just step off for that extra second there. Bumbarapa dives off to the side and Tsudu-sama backed off, and there was so little time for that overtime to go down on. Chaos Theory, they're going to show Bazaar how to helm a ship here.
Oh, by the way, HMS Ambition sounds like a real ship
That's
name.
a great ship name.
That
I love it.
sounds fantastic.
Oh, it's not going to get very far out.
It just gets right up the harbor, then bam, just gone.
Nope. I saw a video once of a boat that launched and then like it sank as it was launching. That's, can you imagine?
It's gotta be the worst.
Like because you do a sideways launch in it, it just instantly capsized. That's what happened there to Chaos Theory. They're already changing off, going for the double sniper. They want to set up with that Dragon Strike instead. They have at least got the card up to the kill box, but because they're only just swapping onto the Hanzo now, it's going to take them quite a while. But they may just not need it. GNX could just get a bunch of headshots instead.
Oh, just barely misses the Holt hook combo.
Oh, man.
Right now, GNX finally goes down to Nitsuru-sama of all people, but it's probably not going to be enough here. Chaos Theory continue rolling through.
Yeah, they don't need a pirate ship. Filthy landlubbers, all of them. But it works, and can't really contest that.
Currently, look, that was a very smooth ride on through, not Bumburapa, Distrain just kind of sitting there, appreciating the sights as you...
It's like, you know what, now that I'm not fighting, this is actually quite a nice view here. If it wasn't in a radiated hellhole, this would be nice.
I don't think it's a radiator.
I've always got that impression that it was.
I'll concede the hellhole part, but I don't think it's a radiator.
Maybe it's because Junkrat and Roadhog do feel a little bit like characters from like a Fallout Australia. GNX though, finding Nitsuru-sama, only one trade back, it is Jokebot, but they can just raise him back in once they get a free moment. There is said free moment, and they've picked panties too, so they can just kind of keep the momentum on their side. That's Bumburapa down now. Ambition needs to, oh, he is going to go down on the side. That's rough. That takes the Dragon Strike off the table, but Chaos Theory, they do still have momentum on their side, and it has to be said, for diving that deep, Sadistic does get staggered out.
And by the way, this Dragon Strike is not as effective anymore because Bazaar are not running a static defense. I mean, Bazaar can just get right out of the way.
Yeah.
Ambition's still going to stay onto this just to be able to use it. They camp out point B anyway. They got a lot of time to work with on C. You got to consider they can actually be able to do this. In fact, you can stay on the Hanzo for a decent amount of time because just as you sort of go into the last section of this bend before you finish capping, if you actually Dragon Strike the card, Bazaar have to step off.
This is still momentum on the side of Chaos Theory. Whoa, wow. Once again, GNX just, oh, dude, this guy's a one-man army here on Junkertown, throwing out the Dragon Strike to just separate up the two halves of Bazaar. Yeah, this is just unfettered momentum here on the side of Chaos Theory. Going to be able to stagger out Sadistic as well. They keep it on a rolling. Or floating, I guess.
Double snipers with the Risahog. It's kind of like you want to be diving onto the cart, but you're not going to hit either of those snipers.
Ooh.
Bubble coming out of Bumburapa just to make sure no one dies to the hook. I mean, or GNX for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, they do finally get the wrap around, but unfortunately it backfires pretty quickly. They're not even getting picks in response. I think Chaos Theory are about to just kind of march it over the line with little to no resistance.
It's a gong rather. Roll it, man. Let's be mature adults over here. And with that, look, it's going to be a 4-0 victory. You okay there, dude? It'll be a 4-0 victory for Chaos Theory, and I'm sorry, you'll get over it. You'll get over it.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't make fun. Look, it happens. It happens to all of us. I literally thought the wrong team was playing just a little bit earlier tonight. But that was, at any rate, look, congratulations. Heartily so. It's the first time Chaos Theory get that Chaos Theory win graphic coming up. They get to walk across the stage. They get to collect their handshakes. They get to take their bow. No matter what happens next week, they get to go home to Singapore having picked up a win. They have, preserved that national pride in a way, being the only representative of that nation in the Pacific region right now. They will be going back through trials, but I don't know about you, I'm looking forward to seeing this team again.
And by the way, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's actually not all quite over. Chaos Theory could still play against Machi and beat them next week as well. After this performance, you got to think that is within the realm of possibility for this team. Chaos Theory are now starting to really get into the zone, and Machi got to be shaken at least a little bit.
Because that wasn't just, like I said, a close win against, the fifth place team. It was an absolute slam dunk. They did not look like they were sixth. I've seen Bazaar have...
And they're no longer sixth, by the way.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. Now, thanks to that map differential, but I've seen Bazaar have much more competitive losses against a lot of other teams well above them in the standings. And it's almost a bit of a shame that Chaos Theory are only kind of hitting this form now in this late stage in the tournament. But yeah, Machi have kind of got to shake in their boots at that, because I believe Machi play... No, they don't quite play Talon. But at any rate, I think Machi are pretty much secure, but this could be the difference between a third place and a fourth place for them.
The difference now is Machi play Chaos Theory and Hong Kong Attitude play Talon. So for and they're both, Machi and Talon are both at 2 and 2. So whoever gets the 3 and 2, if the other one gets a 2 and 3, then that will determine how it sort of stands out there. Yeah. So right now, Machi, they kind of need that 3 and 2.
Yeah, exactly. You want to have that, you know, play the second place instead of the first place. It's pretty simple. As much as over on the Group B side of things, the first place and second place teams, assuming it does end up finishing as Blank and Mega respectively, as much as they're both looking, you know, almost equally as scary, at least after their own head-to-head performance that went to that full 5, you would always still rather play the second place team if you can help it. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at